Good evening and welcome back to another episode of The Longing, where tonight we are going to be continuing to make our way through the halls of eternity. And while I don't have a pre-prepared thing to discuss, like always, I mean, I don't know where I was going with that, but no, I don't have a pre-prepared topic to discuss, which is the usual case, let's be honest. So instead, we're just going to ramble, and I'm going to ramble about nosebleeds. Yeah. Yeah, why not? Because I got a nosebleed this afternoon, and why not? Let's ramble about that. Nothing important, nothing major. Every so often I'll get a nosebleed. It won't always be from the same side. It'll vary. But it'll very rarely be a double nosebleed, so out of both sides. It does happen. It's not very common, but it has happened. In fact, I had one a few months ago where it happened. I got a double nosebleed. Yeah, they're pretty uncommon, I would say, for me. Having a nosebleed, not that uncommon. Get one of them every few weeks. Something like that. Nothing you can do except just sort of wait for it to stop. Don't usually last very long. Maybe 10 minutes or less. Something like that. Not fast flowing or anything, just drip every so often. But they'll just crop up out of nowhere. Just feel it go. Feel it start. And you can catch the first drop, as it were. There really isn't many nosebleed situations that I've had where I've not managed to catch the first drop. Even if I've been asleep when a nosebleed has started, I'll usually be able to catch the first drop. There was actually one time 3 months ago or something. I had a nosebleed at night when I was sleeping, and I didn't quite catch the first drop. I caught the second one. Yeah. Nosebleeds, weird things. It's not like a recent thing either. I've always had plenty of nosebleeds ever since I was young. Although I have to say I did get them when I was sleeping a lot more frequently when I was younger. Like a lot more frequently. I'd usually get a couple a week, maybe, while I was sleeping. I did get quite good at, well, I mean, obviously I've got pretty good at catching even when I've had a nosebleed when sleeping. Because that last nosebleed that I missed while sleeping, that missed the first drop, that was the first one I think I'd missed the first drop at all. In probably about 10 years. So I've got very good at detecting when I'm about to have a nosebleed. I don't know, there's a weird sensation you can feel. And for some reason I've got very good at waking up and recognizing it instantly. Even when I'm half asleep. Let me know if you ever get nosebleeds like that. Or if it's not a very common thing. I assume it's a fairly common thing to get nosebleeds, but I honestly don't know. It's never really been a major problem. I just have a nosebleed for a bit, and then it stops, and then it's fine. Although I have to say, when I do have a nosebleed, I do generally feel pretty rough for the rest of the day if I have a nosebleed. Yeah, it can leave you pretty drained. Even if it's not a particularly heavy nosebleed, it can just drain at times. I'm sure it's nothing. Yeah. So yeah, that's something that happened to me. Although I have to say today, even after the nosebleed, because I had the nosebleed about 12, half 12 or something. Even after the nosebleed, I didn't feel particularly drained. It was a very short-lived nosebleed. Very short-lived, actually. Not much blood actually came out. So yeah, nosebleeds. Might as well talk about it, because I've got nothing else to talk about. Nothing else lined up. And no, before you say anything, it's not because I pick my nose. I like as in it, like I don't get nosebleeds starting when when I pick my nose, or rather because I pick my nose. Okay, how to word this? It's not because of picking my nose that I get nosebleeds. They just start out of nowhere. That's sort of what I mean. And I haven't found a correlation either about what starts a nosebleed. But it's not from picking my nose. That much I do know. Lovely topic, isn't it? Lovely topic. Yeah. Could just be a temperature thing, maybe. Could just be a... Yeah, it might just be a temperature or a dryness of the air thing. Yeah, no. It's just one of them things. Let me know if you ever experience lots of nosebleeds. Or none at all. That'd be really interesting if you've never had a nosebleed that you're aware of. In other words, as an adult. As a child, I imagine you probably will have had a nosebleed, or certainly won't be able to remember having had a nosebleed or not. But I think most people can probably remember having had a nosebleed at some point. But I think it'd be really interesting if someone hadn't. That'd probably be quite an anomaly, because it is a fairly common thing to have. Yeah. Nosebleeds. Not a major deal, but just a thing. Just a thing, really. So, not really a worry. But, nosebleeds aside, that's something unusual. Nosebleeds aside, I'm going to say that we are at the end of today's episode. So, thank you. Stop walking. Stop walking. So we'll get to between these next two ones. They really didn't want to stop walking there. So I will say thank you very much for joining me today. I hope you all have a wonderful morning, evening, afternoon or night. No matter what time of day it is, I hope you have a wonderful one of it. And as always, we will be back tomorrow for more of The Longing. Goodbye.